Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. If that malaise has kind of kicked in on you after the Breeders' Cup, well, it is officially over this weekend. We have a graded stakes, action-packed weekend ahead of us. Saturday, this is really the highlight. The Donn Handicap, Grade 1, going a mile and eighth on the Gulfstream Park lightning-fast surface. And oh, what a field they've assembled for this one. Do you like old Derby contenders that couldn't make the big dance? You know, horses like I Want Revenge, Square Eddie, Round the Greek. What about a little Breeders' Cup magic? You've got Morning Line, you've got Fly Down, you've got El Defir and Giant Oak. So you couldn't get much better than this. Probably the best race we've had in a couple of months. Now, the pace setup in this one, yeah, Rule got the better of Morning Line last out in that House Hope Mile. And they're certainly going to be the two that face off again here, setting the pace. But you can expect Square Eddie, I Want Revenge, and Hear Ye to be there right in the mix, pushing in hot pursuit all the way. And the rest will be relying on that devastating late foot of theirs to be making an impact in that stretch run. The pace setup and the winning energy distribution profile on this GP surface is telling me that we're going to look to the front half of the field here for the winner. And I'm looking at Morning Line as my choice in this one. Here's why. After two slightly disappointing outcomes here, and a lot of fan sentimental favorites like I Want Revenge, Fly Down, Square Eddie, and Rule entered in this race, we could get actually some pretty decent value on this horse. Now, if we can get 5 or 4 to 1 or higher, that would be absolutely awesome. Don't know if we'll get it, but that would be just an automatic for me. Many believe that Morning Line is a miler, and I would say let's challenge that. Take a look at his past performances. Really, his best outcomes here have been going 2 turns at a mile and an eighth. And even his breeding and the connection suggest that this horse really is much, much better suited to a distance range of between a mile and an eighth and a mile and a quarter. Don't worry about that Hell's Hope outcome. This was his first off of a pretty good layoff. And, you know, when you look at it, he's really being pointed to the Donn and ultimately, as the connections now say, the Dubai World Cup. And if you watch the replay of that race, Velasquez barely touched him here late in this one. So clearly he was just getting in, trying to get back into racing shape. I think Rule will certainly be tough again here, but and he'll move forward off that Hell's Hope effort. But I think maybe a mile and eighth is actually too long for this horse, and maybe it was too much from that horse too soon after his huge layoff. But certainly, if anybody can win this race over Morning Line, I'm going with Rule. My outsider value play, though, kind of a mystery horse, is Square Eddie. Might be too much too soon to ask of this one off that impressive allowance sprint back at Santa Anita. And I'm counting, though, on a strong effort nonetheless. So maybe gets up in the exotics at a decent price. Maybe a small chance to beat them all at a decent price. Fly Down, no question. This is the best horse in the field. But I'm thinking this is another one who needs a race and probably a pace and a surface setup that is a bit more conducive to deep closers. If you want a now deep closer, check out Round the Greek. You're going to get a heck of a lot more value. I think this horse is Gulfstream Park ready and is going to move up off of that last effort at a mile. So, and clearly at a much, much better price. Now, I will be cheering for I Want Revenge, but again, I think this one is also another that needs a race. It'll be much, much better as we move forward into the season. So the wager. Let's put a win bet on Morning Line, pretty strong win bet, especially if we can get 4 to 1 or higher. And then we'll take Rule over Morning Line and Square Eddie in an exacta. And how about a saver? We'll put all 3 of those, Square Eddie, Rule, and Morning Line, over Round the Greek and Fly Down in a saver exacta. Now, come back to our site. Everybody's already voting, getting those early votes in on the Kentucky Derby contenders. Go to our rankings there. Votes are coming in fast and furious. New horses are entering all the time. And of course, everybody around the world actually right now, they're voting on our all-time greatest, the 250 all-time greatest thoroughbred horses out there that have run now and in the past. So get in there, make your votes happen. And until next week, another great week of some Kentucky Derby preps, this is Mike Schutte bidding you to go fast and win.